Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 11th of April 2022 with the wrestling wrap up. It's a handful of news brought to you in one easy to watch video. Actually, maybe more than a handful because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5. I always count the Raw preview as like a half. We have 8 stories for you tonight. Or today, this morning, whatever you want to call it. I know for me, it's morning. For some people, it's afternoon. If you live in a different country, it's evening or even tomorrow morning, depending on where you're at. But with that, it's the wrestling wrap-up. We're bringing you all the news you may have missed from the last weekend, as a number of things did drop over the weekend. We got some WWE news. We got some New Japan news. I think that's all we're pulling from right now, because everyone else was kind of quiet over the weekend. Everyone else was kind of quiet over this last weekend. Krill, that's the second news story, bud. We're talking about that. That's news story number 2. But with that, I hope you guys did have a great weekend. I had a fun weekend. Last night, I just got on a whim to say, let's go on an adventure. And actually, I want to pull this up and show you guys, because I thought this was really fun. I went on a little adventure last night, trying to do more with my photography. And the one thing I'm lacking at right now is I need to get better at shooting at night when there's not a lot of light, if that makes sense. When there's not a lot of light. And so, whoops, that is the wrong Instagram. So last night what I did, and why did it log me out? Give me 1 second. Last night what I did was I went on a shoot where I shot a bunch of things at night. Come on. Log me in. Why is it not working? Oh, maybe because I need the full... There we go. I thought this was cool and I wanted to share it with you guys. I did put some of the photos up on my, what's it called? Twitter. But I do have all the photos here. Well, not all of them, but these are some of them. Most of the photos I took. The good ones. Because you take trust me, you take 300 photos and you get 12 good ones. But I started it off where I just went on a freeway overpass. I started shooting some shots. Right to the chain link fence. Trying to get that, what's the word I'm looking for? The light streak effect. Then I went over to our main, not hangout area, what is it? It's where there's a bunch of shops and there's the movie theater and restaurants and so forth where people hang up, and I just went around and snagged some candid photos. Just photos. It's called street photography. Shooting things in the wild, I guess you can call it. So I went out. Now, Instagram's not showing the full quality of these photos, but I thought, hey, I need to learn to do more night photography where the light's not, it's low light. So why not go and just try it out and take some pictures? Now I want to do one of these shoots, but during the day. Just going out and just shooting random things, asking people, hey, can I take a photo of you? Just act natural, do what you're doing. I'm going to snap a couple shots. And it was really, really, really fun to do. I thought I would share that, guys, with you, let you know what my adventure was this weekend. And hopefully you guys had a great adventure yourselves as well, but we got a lot of wrestling to talk about. And first, I want to say thank you for joining me here, twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and twitter.com/PWU Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out either by hitting that donate button down below or donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with Amazon Prime, or you can subscribe with the tier subscription. Because you got the tier subscription, and you go, yeah, I'll pay the $4.99 to subscribe and support you. But if you're one person that doesn't have it, you take your Amazon Prime account, take your Twitch account, you link them together, bada bing, bada boom, you're Prime Gaming. With Prime Gaming, you get a lot of cool things like free games. Right now, you get Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Game of the Year Edition, and you get, I was butcher this name, Plants vs. Zombies, Welcome Battle for Neighborville, and a number of other free games as well. You also get free stuff for games like Grand Theft Auto Online, Madden 22. You also get stuff for Valorant, New World, League of Legends, and so much more. But the one thing that never changes is the one free subscription you get to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to. And I greatly appreciate it if you subscribe right here. Plus, remember, it doesn't even have to be your own Amazon account. It can be anybody's Amazon Prime account that just links to yours, whether it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, your best friend, your best friend's wife, your best friend's daughter, your best friend's sister's uncle's mom. Like, you can go way off on the family tree and say, hey, can I link my Twitch account to your Amazon account? Not going to cost you anything extra. But then that way, for free, I can support a cool creator. But on the flip side, if you're watching on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well. You can help us out with a super chat or a super sticker donation. All super chats do get read live on the air. It's the only way to get your question, to make sure your question gets read live on the air right here on the Wrestling Wrap Up, because we don't go to text messages on the Wrestling Wrap Up. We save those for after the show reviews when people have questions from the shows we just watched. But with that, also remember you can hit that join button down below to become channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. Today or tomorrow, I'll be making my WrestleMania Backlash graphics. I will be recording my process, putting out a speed video of that, and if you're subscribed at the middle tier of either our YouTube channel members or right here, or our Patreon, patreon.com/PW Unlimited, you will actually get access to all of the project files on Photoshop and After Effects to see how I actually put together my WrestleMania Backlash graphics. So with that, also remember you can head over, like I just said, patreon.com and get all that stuff as well. Going to Patreon is, in my opinion, yes, you get all the same perks as a YouTube channel member, but if you do it on Patreon, it's all actually listed there for you. Easier to find what you're looking for. If we make a news post, if we put up a specific video, if I put up, graphic files for you guys to check out and even use, they're all there, easier to find. Plus, it's more directly supporting us because YouTube ain't taking their cut. Patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store and just buy a game. Whether it's a brand new game or an old game, Sifu, the new game, Grand Theft Auto 5 from 2013, it don't matter. Buy a game, and at checkout on the right-hand side, it'll ask you if you have a creator code. You do. It's PW Unlimited. PW Unlimited. Put the code in there. Or if you say, I don't got a computer that can play PC games, but I play Fortnite on my PlayStation 4, well, go to the store on Fortnite on PlayStation 4. You go to the store tab, and at the very bottom, it'll ask you for a creator code. Same thing with Rocket League. Put in the creator code PW Unlimited to support us on the Epic Game Store or Epic Game Launchers. But with that, we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, so let's jump right in. I get this question all the time, and sometimes you hear it, sometimes you don't. I'm going to answer MGT's question. Why don't you do a live reaction watch-along for Raw tonight? You want to see my kids in the background running around and fighting and arguing with them at the same time? I don't think you do. That's the issue. With having kids, I can't just sit here for 3 hours and just ignore them, and just because who knows? There could be like, I gotta make them dinner. I gotta make myself dinner. There could be like a 45-minute period where we're doing a watch along and I'm not even gonna be on camera because I'm doing something with them or I'm making dinner. So my nights, I can watch Raw and take notes and whatnot, but I'm not gonna be able to sit here and give you guys my undivided attention. That's the issue. You guys, again, I'm not going to be able to pay super attention to the chat and to Raw and to them. Plus, you don't want them in the background arguing, fighting, hearing my son playing Fortnite on the TV in the background or watching some random Mr. Beast YouTube video. So that's why I don't do watch-alongs, because you don't want to hear my kids running around in the background. But with that, our first news story has to do with WrestleMania Backlash. The first match has been announced for WrestleMania Backlash. This past week on Friday Night SmackDown, that is. This past Friday on Friday Night SmackDown, Ronda Rousey put out the challenge saying, I want Charlotte Flair again. But this time, basically said, no bullcrap. I don't want any way for her to have an advantage as far as get DQ'd or counted out, keep the belt. I want to, if she taps, it's over. And so Ronda said, I want a no DQ. No, she went, no, I want an I quit match. That's what I want an I quit match. Says she wanted an I quit match, and Charlotte comes up on the screen and goes, why do you deserve another match with me, Ronda? I don't think I want to take this match, so it's not going to happen. And then Ronda just goes, oh, it'll happen. And she throws the microphone out of the ring or whatever. And so we go to the back, and Adam Pearce is talking to Jinder, which this was weird because Jinder goes, I was not on WrestleMania. Can I have a shot for the Intercontinental Championship? Like, okay, first, how does one correlate to the other? But whatever. Adam Pearce literally tells him, Jinder, I can't just give you a shot for the IC title. And then, like, 45 minutes later, next week on Friday Night SmackDown, Jinder Mahal will be challenging for the Intercontinental Championship. And I go, wait, what? Adam Pearce just told him, I can't just give you the title match. But then he just gave him a title match? That, to me, doesn't make sense. But anyways, in that segment where he told Jinder, I can't give you the match, but then, whatever, Ronda walks in. And she's like, you hear my request, my challenge? And he's like, I'm discussing it with management. You will have an answer tomorrow. Saturday, announced. First match for WrestleMania Backlash will be an I Quit match for the SmackDown Women's Championship as Ronda Rousey does challenge Charlotte Flair yet again. And I want to say May 8th is WrestleMania Backlash. May 8th, yeah. Let me double check that. I have it written down on my calendar, but let me double check that. WrestleMania Backlash. Oop. WrestleMania Backlash is May 8th. So that's the first match officially announced for WrestleMania Backlash. It will be Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Ronda Rousey in an I Quit match. Cool. First match, it wasn't bad or anything, but it was just there. Like, it was all right. Didn't make me clamor to go, ooh, I see these two again. But I guess it being I Quit, they can use weapons and more smoke and mirrors to make it look better. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt now and judge it once the match actually happens. But as we move forward, talking about championship matches set for tomorrow's NXT 2.0, as we got to crown new champs, new tag team champs, that is. If you guys are unaware, last week, Nash Carter did get released by the WWE. We still don't, we kind of know, but don't fully know. No one said, specifically. We think it's because his ex-wife posted a picture of him doing the Hitler sign with the stash, and we think. But that's just what's been reported. But with him being released and one half of the tag team champions, WWE vacated the NXT tag team titles, and now we're going to have a gauntlet match tomorrow to determine the new NXT tag team champions, as WWE revealed the following just about an hour or so ago on their website. After being relinquished, the last team standing will be crowned the new NXT tag team champions. On Tuesday, 5 of NXT 2.0's top teams, including Grayson Waller and Sanga, Legado del Fantasma, the Creed brothers, Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen, and Pretty Deadly, will collide in a gauntlet match to determine the new NXT tag team champions. So with that, these 5 teams will be battling for the NXT tag team titles tomorrow night in a gauntlet match to determine, the new champions, because the titles are currently vacant. And before you guys do ask me, I have no clue what's going to happen with Wesley. I have no idea. I speculated last week, maybe he asked for his release and they give it to him. But even so, if he were to say, you know what, I only came here because I was here with Zachary Green, Zachary Wentz, whatever you want to call his real name. Real name is Zachary Green. But if he says, hey, I only came here because we were going to be a tag team together, and now they're not a tag team because he got released. If he says, I don't want to be here anymore, they have the right to say, no, you got to stay and work your contract. Now, do they use him as the singles? I don't know. Do they put him in a new tag team? I don't know. That is the big question. But tomorrow night, we will crown new tag team champions in a 5-team gauntlet. Again, the teams are Grayson Waller and Sanga. I'm probably saying that name wrong, but whatever. Legado del Fantasma, the Creed brothers, Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen, and Pretty Deadly, who just officially debuted last week as the attackers of the Creed brothers. So I think this match should be fun. Gauntlet matches are usually really cool, and we always get the one, the one person or the one team that runs the gamut and then loses. And then WWE goes, well, they should be the next up in line for a tag title shot because they did so well in the gauntlet match. So we'll see how that all does take place. Tomorrow, we get new tag team champions. But as we move forward, we've got more news to talk about. One pertaining to, WWE Hall of Famer, The Undertaker. Ladies and gentlemen, The Undertaker might be getting his own podcast. As I pull up this tweet from WrestleVotes that does state the following. In a show similar to that of Broken Skull Sessions, Peacock and WWE have convinced The Undertaker to enter the podcasting world. Source states his new show should begin airing within the next few months. A fascinating concept that was unfathomable just a few years back. So this does entice me, and now we can probably try to speculate on the name of the show and what this is actually going to be. Is it just him telling stories? Is it him interviewing people? That would be an interesting one, him interviewing people. I think they should get somebody who in WWE would be good as a Conrad Thompson to The Undertaker, and he just tells stories for an hour. That Camp, maybe? I don't know. I don't know who would be good in that role. Michael Cole, if he wants to do it. He probably would be the best bet, Michael Cole, if he wants to do something like that. But we don't know what this is going to be. They say similar to Broken Skull Sessions, but I mean, who's into a Undertaker interview podcast? I mean, you could have said the same thing when Stone Cold started his podcast years ago. Oh, who wants to listen to Stone Cold interview people, But I mean, what are they going to call it? Dead Man Talking? And the show's going to start up and go, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dead Man Talking. I'm your host, Mark Calloway, The Undertaker. Or I'm your host, The Undertaker, Mark Calloway. Or Mark The Undertaker Calloway. Does he use his real name? Does he just go by Undertaker? We don't know. Very vague message from WrestleVotes, but hey, who the hell knows? We're getting an Undertaker podcast. Most likely, it's going to air on Peacock. It's going to be reportedly akin to Broken Skull Sessions, and we'll see where that does lead to. I'm interested, at least for the first episode. Also, speaking of Stone Cold and the Broken Skull Sessions, I didn't have this on the doc, so let me pull up the date really fast. They did announce when the Bully Ray episode will be airing. As far as that is the next edition of Broken Skull Sessions. Now I don't see. I can pull it up here. You can just search it. Broken Skull Sessions. Bully Ray episode of Broken Skull Sessions will air on. Why do I not see it? April 15th. April 15th, which is this Friday. This Friday, the Bully Ray episode of Broken Skull Sessions does go up on Peacock and the WWE Network internationally. As we move forward, this is kind of new news, but not really new news. It has to do with WWE going to Saudi. An update from PW Insider, because originally we heard from Andrew Zarian of the Matman Podcast and FOW Online that WWE was looking to go to Saudi in September and run the TLC show. But now, according to a new report from Mike Johnson over at PW Insider, he adds that WWE is looking to go to Saudi Arabia this fall, which everyone would have assumed without a report from anybody. Yet, it adds that their superstars will once again be returning around Halloween time, which would be likely the last week of February, the first week of November. So they got two contradicting reports here. Zarian's report that came out a couple of weeks ago that said TLC in September, which we're not refuting or contemplating if it's TLC or not. This probably is. It's what we've heard as well. But Zarian said September, yet we're hearing from PWU Insider Halloween time, which is late October, early November. So just keep an eye out. We will keep you guys updated. Again, that's why I said this was just a quick hit on when WWE could be going back to Saudi Arabia. Also, please, no straight caps in the live chat, please. It is kind of annoying and sometimes hard for people to read, especially someone with dyslexia. So here's the thing why a lot of people, I'm going to go off on a thing really fast. Here's the thing why a lot of people like when you're in a live chat or a group chat, they say, please no full caps. Well, please no full caps. Maybe they're not thinking the same thing, but for me, I think please no full caps because I'm slightly dyslexic. I went into the military and they told me when I did my first evaluation, mental and physical and all that, you got a slight case of dyslexia. Well, seeing words all in caps sometimes makes it harder for me to read. Seeing words with the lowercase letters and the uppercase letters and the differentiate and all that makes it easier for me to read. All caps sometimes actually makes it harder for me to read. So that's why I say it, other people say, please don't do just all caps in the live chat. Because some people with slight issues, like I don't want to say I have a disability, but I mean, I was said that I have a slight form of dyslexia. Some people with that, and maybe other things as well, all caps kind of throws them off. Just like when people write like 6 sentences in a row and there's no sentence structure, no punctuations, I can't read that. I can't do that. When you guys send in text messages and it's like 4 sentences, but there's no punctuation, it's just one long run-on sentence, and then I say I can't read your text, it's because I can't. My brain can't compute it fast enough to give you guys a response without me sitting here trying to actually think about it. So that's why I say, please, if you're going to send in a text, complete sentences and sentence structure. That way I can compute it quicker and get your answer quicker, not have to sit here for a minute or two going, I think, and no caps in the chat, no full caps, because people with disabilities, it sometimes makes it harder for them to read. It does for me sometimes. Makes it harder to read things when it's all full caps. Because if I see certain letters that I'm used to most of the time seeing lowercase next to the big, like it's just a whole thing. And that's a whole different subject and podcast for a whole different day. But that's why we do ask, please, no full caps in the live chat. But as we move forward, we're going to get off the WWE train for a second and get on the New Japan train. Because New Japan has announced the G1 dates. Yep. One of the funnest times of the year for a pro wrestling fan is to follow the G1. This year, we now know when the G1 is going to take place. The G1 will be starting on Saturday, July 16th, and culminating on Thursday, August 18th. So the first 2 nights will be in, and I'm going to butcher these names, Kokai Kita Yell in Hokkaido. Those were the first 2 shows are going to be. And then again, just like they do a lot of times, the last 3 nights will wrap up in Sumo Hall in Tokyo. They'll also be doing shows from Korakuen Hall, Dolphins Arena in Aichi, Hamatsu Arena in Shinzuoka, Irion Arena in Osaka, and they're also going to go to Hiroshima Sun Plaza, along with other venues as well, like the Machida Municipal Gymnasium in Tokyo. So the G1 again does take place from July 16th to August 18th, and in an interesting update from Fightful over the weekend, we can get some unexpected names here because Fightful, and I'm going to link all this stuff together in one report because it all goes together, sort of. Fightful said that New Japan is actually looking at getting visas for non-Japanese residents to bring them over soon, as Fightful stated. Fightful has learned after 2 years since the pandemic started, New Japan Pro Wrestling has begun to get visas for talent to make their way over to Japan. We've learned of several names that New Japan Pro Wrestling has worked on getting visas for to bring them over through the next few months, including the Best of the Super Juniors. Now, we don't know if they're doing this in lieu or in preparation for the G1 as well, but it does sound like some wrestlers that, maybe they haven't worked New Japan or they've been stuck in America doing New Japan strong stuff can now go to Japan and they're getting them visas and they're bringing them over. That's really, really, really cool to hear that. Yes, the pandemic did help establish bigger names sort of for New Japan strong, like Jay White and whatnot. But now they can bring some other guys over, like Jonah. Jonah would be, just thinking Jonah would be great in the G1. Finally get Jay White back over there, put him in the G1. Screw it. Give me Filthy Tom Lawler in the G1. I know Danielson said he wouldn't rule out doing G1. I don't know if he's going to do it this year or next. Moxley's done it once. I don't know if he would do it again, but New Japan is working on getting more and I can't just say non-Japanese talent, because there's non-Japanese talent still working. They're non-Japanese resident talent, like people that live in Japan. Non-Japanese resident talent back over to work New Japan Pro Wrestling. So that should be really cool. That should be really fun. And we'll see. I didn't get a date for the Best of the Super Juniors. NJPW Best of... When is the Best of Super Juniors? This year. Is there... Best of Super Juniors will be taking place May 15th. It will kick off May 15th through June 3rd. So that should be fun to see who they actually bring over. And to be completely honest, I think this is a great thing because no one knows who this could be. It's been so long since they've just had surprises show up in New Japan that this will all kind of feel like a really big deal, in my opinion. But with that, as we move forward, we got to talk about the sponsor. Whoops, wrong button. Sponsor of today's video, and that is, well, Foco. Foco is a leading manufacturer of sports and entertainment merchandise with a product line that includes apparel, accessories, toys, collectibles, novelty items, and more. With major sports and entertainment licenses at their disposal, along with a powerful infrastructure, a dedicated team, and a broad variety of products, Foco is reaching new heights every single day. Whether you are a WWE, NFL, NBA, or even Nickelodeon fan, Foco has something that fits your fandom. Head over to Foco.com today and see everything that you can get from Foco. And they've got, like I said, apparel, accessories, toys, collectibles, novelty items, and more. Their big thing, though, are their bobbleheads. They've got some great bobbleheads. Really, really, really great bobbleheads. And not just wrestling bobbleheads. They've got NFL bobbleheads. They've got NBA bobbleheads. They've got bobbleheads and all kinds of things for Nickelodeon fans. So really great variety of stuff over there. Check it out. Head to Foco.com. Let them know we sent you. As we get back here on the WWE news train, we all know that Sami Zayn recently signed a new contract with WWE. Not a shock. WWE's doing great with Sami Zayn. Some can say different because some don't like what they did with him and Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania and all that, but I enjoyed it. Yet, as far as Sami Zayn does go, and why can I not get this link to load with a quote from the podcast he was just recently on? Here we go. Sami Zayn was the latest guest on Ryan Satin and Fox Sports' Out of Character podcast, and Zayn actually talked about how he's got more creative control. Maybe that's not the right word I should use. He's got more input in things that he does, as Zayn stated the following quote: "Let me nip this in the bud. I don't want to act like I'm booking my own stuff because I'm not. But I swing a lot, and I don't think I swing a lot of duds. But sometimes I swing ideas, and there's reasons why I don't know why they don't work. And sometimes they tell me they won't work because XYZ. But a lot of things they'll take and okay. Not exactly how I envisioned it, but pieces of it get through. Having even a little bit of creative input. I think that's what's really taken my appreciation and my enjoyment of being here in WWE to another level. Is I'll say, hey, I wish we can kind of do this. And then some version of that happens, and I'm thrilled. I'm over the moon. What more could you ask for? To just feel like you have a voice and you're feeling heard. And then when you actually go out there and do it, you feel respected and valued. That's really what kept me here. Sami is saying that having even just a semblance, just a sliver of creative input in things that he gets to do is one thing that led him to wanting to stay with WWE. And I think that's great to hear. That someone can pitch something. Someone can say, hey, I want to try this in my next match, or I want to try this in this segment you have me booked for. Can I do it? And they go, okay, well, we like the idea, but let's tweak it a little bit. Let's make it this, and boom, 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 boom. But we take the main part of your idea and just make it fit in with what we already had. So I love that Sami feels like he's being listened to, because we hear a lot of people in WWE say, I don't feel like they're listening to me. I don't feel like they value my opinions. I don't feel like they valued what I had to say when I pitched things. Well, Sami's saying the opposite. So it is great to hear that Sami Zayn does feel like things that he pitches to them and ideas that he gives to them, in turn, for the most part, gets used in some sort of a way. So that's really, really, really cool to hear. Since Saturday, we don't know that for sure. So yeah. Speaking of people staying with WWE, we're going to shift on the people getting moved around in WWE and called up to the main roster as well. Last week on SmackDown, saw some call-ups. First off, actually there's 3 call-ups in total last week. So first off, we saw the call-ups of Gunther, the former Walter, and I'm going to butcher this. It is Ludwig Kaiser. Ludwig Kaiser, the former Marcel Barthel. They came up together last week on SmackDown. Gunther then worked a match where it was just a 2-minute squash, and he looked big and strong. I don't know exactly what the dynamic for these two are going to be. Are they a tag team? Is Ludwig the manager of Gunther? Because he came out first and said, I want to introduce you all to the Ring General, Gunther. And then Gunther came out. So I don't know exactly what the dynamic of these two being brought up together is. We don't know why they didn't bring up Fabian Eichner as well. That's another big head scratcher. So these two did get brought up to the main roster. We saw the name change for Walter a few months back. 2 months back or so now, to Gunther. And then this Friday, we saw the name change in the call-up of Marcel Barthel to Ludwig Kaiser. Originally, it was supposed to be Ludwig Klaus, but then they changed it to Ludwig Kaiser. Ludwig Kaiser. I keep putting an L in there for some reason. Kaiser. But that wasn't the only call-ups. We also saw the call-up of, Raquel Gonzalez, or as she is now being known as, Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel was interviewed by Kayla Braxton on SmackDown. She said, I want to introduce you to the newest member of the SmackDown roster, Raquel Rodriguez. And I don't know if Raquel's supposed to be a babyface or a heel, to be honest, because she kind of healed up Kayla. Kayla's doing the interview. She's got the microphone here. Raquel bends down and goes, I'm up here, and lifts up Kayla's hand. That's kind of a dick heel thing to do. But then they did the thing with the Los Lotharios. She got disgusted by them, so maybe she's a baby. I don't know. But Raquel Gonzalez is now Raquel Rodriguez. I mean, that wasn't her real name anyways. Her real name's not Raquel Gonzalez. It's Victoria Gonzalez. So why can't she just keep the Gonzalez last name? Well, because it's her real last name? I don't know. But she's now Raquel Rodriguez. She's on SmackDown, and we'll see where that all leads to. But we've heard of more call-ups. So we have. So as we talk about call-ups that have already happened, possible call-up set for tonight's Monday Night Raw. So I'm going to say right now, this could be a spoiler for tonight's Monday Night Raw. According to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, Johnson does report. Give me 1 second. There might be an update to the story now that I pull up the article. We got that. Okay, so let's start this over. So we may have a spoiler for tonight's Friday or Monday Night Raw as far as a possible NXT call-up being in town. And I'm going to read 2 different reports here from Mike Johnson of PW Insider, as Johnson's initial report stated the following. Again, this could be a spoiler for Raw. He stated, WWE NXT star Tommaso Ciampa is in Detroit for tonight's Monday Night Raw. Johnson then came with an update to that story stating Tommaso Ciampa has been called up officially to the Monday Night Raw roster. As we reported earlier, Ciampa is in Detroit for tonight's Raw. Ciampa finished up with the NXT brand to stand and deliver over WrestleMania weekend. So Mike Johnson is confirming Ciampa's going to Raw. He's in town tonight for Raw and, well, could be on tonight's show. That should be a very, very fun one as far as tonight's Raw does go, to see how they actually bring Ciampa to the main roster. We've seen Ciampa on Raw already in 2022. We've seen him on Raw in 2022 already. And so this isn't going to be like, oh, his main roster debut. This isn't going to be like his Raw on television debut or anything, but it's going to be his debut as an official member of the Raw roster. But as we round things up here, speaking of tonight's Monday Night Raw, 5 things have officially been announced for Raw for tonight's 5 things have officially been announced for tonight's Monday Night Raw by WWE. First off, we got the VIP lounge with MVP and Omos. MVP is now Omos's manager, turning on Bobby Lashley last week. As far as action is concerned, Rey Mysterio will be going one-on-one with Veer. That'll be an interesting one. In his first Monday Night Raw match, and I want to say 6, maybe 7 years, Cody Rhodes will be going one-on-one with The Miz. I think this is a great match for Cody. It's a win against a solid guy. Cool. Miz can take the loss, and no one's going to think the wiser or the fairer or the whatever. We also need to know that Damian Priest will be going one-on-one tonight with AJ Styles. Plus, the Women's Tag Team Championships will be on the line tonight when Sasha Banks and Naomi take on the team of Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Here's my one question. How's Liv feeling? Liv was in a video. So there was a video circulating on Saturday of Liv Morgan at Alexa Bliss's wedding, and she stated, "My toes broke. My toes broke. Got a broke toe." Hopefully that doesn't hinder Liv too much in this match. She can work the match, no problem. I mean, broke a toe, I assume they'd still tell her to go work the match if it's not like severe. So she said at Alexa's wedding, and it was posted online in a video, that she's got a broke toe. So we'll see how Liv does fare in the match tonight, where her and Rhea Ripley do team up, take on Sasha Banks and Naomi in a women's tag title match. But with that, guys, that's everything we know for tonight's Monday Night Raw, and that's everything we got for the wrestling wrap-up. I want to say thank you for joining me here, twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and twitter.com/PWU Unlimited. Remember, tonight, Monday Night Raw, we'll be live talking about everything that goes down tonight on Monday Night Raw. So we'll see you guys this evening. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next time.